This is going to be a reading for the week of February the 10th to the 16th, and this is going to be a nature spirituality reading. So what this means is that I use signs from nature and metaphors from nature to inform what the energies are going to be for the week, and pull a couple cards, talk to my guides, and pull it all together in one cohesive package. So I want to show you some video here. I was out at the beach and I ran into this crab. This is a calico crab, and look at the amazing spots. It's absolutely gorgeous. And then I found some other calico crabs that were actually burying themselves in the sand. And so immediately, the way I synthesize this spiritually is it immediately invoked, obviously, a crab. You think of Cancer and sensitivity. Since Cancer is the sign of the crab. And so, I thought about the idea of, what happens when we're sensitive. A lot of times we bury ourselves in the sand. We hide away, we go into our houses, we don't answer calls. And so that was what I think the pervasive energy for this next week is going to be, we're going to be a little bit sensitive, and we're going to want to bury ourselves in the sand. So then I did a little bit of pulling some cards, and I pulled this card from the Soul's Journey deck, and the card that came up was humor. And, if we look at how do you get through these times when you're sensitive and you don't want to talk to anybody, but you still got to adult, and you got to show up to life, you got to show up to your work, you got to do the things you got to do. You got to take care of the kids, all of that sort of stuff. Well, the idea of using humor, and the card actually says, I choose to focus on the lighter side of life. And so as this next week comes up, try to find the little moments of humor in the week, even if it is laughing at yourself about how sensitive you are, and sometimes we can just find ourselves. I find myself so funny sometimes about how I want to behave, or something, and just, sometimes you just want to pull the blanket over your head and stay in bed. Well, when you feel like that, just laugh at yourself, and that will help get you through. The next message that card that I pulled was cooperation. And the card reads, in your quest to manifest the energy of love, you realize that every person and experience has value. So while you're laughing at yourself and finding the little pieces of humor in your life, the way out of this sensitive energy where you want to bury yourself in the sand like the calico crab is through cooperation. So leaning on other people, not taking over, and doing everything yourselves. This week is not the week to be super mom, super dad, and, try and take care of everything yourself. This is the time to lean on your fellows, lean on people that are able to give you a hand this week. And when I did a little meditating on this, talked to my guides about this, what they wanted to focus on was this idea of developing your skills. That is the theme for the week, developing your skills about how to deal with the times when you are sensitive. Some days, you just wake up and you're just that way. Other days you've got other stuff going on in the background, but you still have to go to work and you have to adult, and it's hard. It's hard. And so through leaning on others, through finding the humor in the smallest things, that's how we get through. That's how, so we're working on developing our skills on how to address these things. The calico crab, it actually lies in the sand almost in wait. It waits and waits, and then when there's some prey that it wants to eat, it just springs shot out of the sand and catapults out. Well, that's what we don't want to do this week. We don't want to be laying low and then have all of a sudden somebody pushes our button and we spring forth. And you know, when I started looking at the habits of the calico crab, that immediately reminded me of more of a Scorpio type energy, you know, with the scorpion, where sometimes out of nowhere you'll get stung. And the other energy that reminded me of as well is the Gemini energy. So, you know, having this sort of dual week where maybe on the inside you're very sensitive, but the idea is to try to tap into your spiritual nature, find humor, find cooperation, let people help you so that you don't strike out and lash out at somebody who steps on your toes. All right, everybody, have a great week. And I hope you enjoyed meeting the calico crab, if you weren't familiar with the crab. And leave me a comment. Let me know how your week goes. Let me know if you are familiar with the crab and what you know about it. I'd love to hear about it. Have a great week.